What's going on, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of RN Fantasy M Experts. I'm your host, Chase, and we are headed to Redbud!
A few moments later.
That's right, baby. Redbud, one of the best tracks on the circuit on America's birthday. I don't know what is better than racing dirt bikes on 4th of July weekend. I absolutely love this race for those reasons. The crowd at Redbud is unreal. If you could pick any race to go to, if you've never been to a pro motocross national, Redbud should probably be at the top of your list. And they've had the Motocross des Nations at this track several times. It is an absolute experience. But RN Fantasy M Experts, RN Fantasy, if you are not playing, get signed up today. It is free to play. All you got to do is make your top 5 picks, pick the wild card. I am here each and every week to help you make those picks by giving you stats on riders. After that, you just sit back, relax. We give away amazing grand prizes at the end of the year. We do 10 weekly prizes. We do fantasy cash. You get points, or cash for playing fantasy that you can spend on Rocky Mountain's website. What is not to love about playing? So get signed up today if you haven't already. And also, don't forget, download the RN Fantasy app to your smartphone so you can just do all your picks, everything right there, and get notification to your phone as well. Grand prizes that we give away at the end of this year. We are giving away a KTM 300 SX to first place, a Gas G-Lite Trail 2.0 e-bike to second, and a Ticket to Ride trip. We're going to bring third place out to Utah, take it down to Southeast Utah, and go do some amazing riding down there. Weekly prizes this week. We've got a full FMF exhaust system for our first place winner, GoPro Hero 12 camera for second, and a Fox gear set. That's just the top 3 for both grand and weekly prizes. You can see all the rest of those up on the big screen right now, but don't forget, you can always see overall or grand prizes and weekly prizes at any time on the Rocky Mountain or the RN Fantasy website. So go check those out. But shout out to our KTM leaderboards. It looks like DPT of Florida staying strong at 423 points, but Joey Bradstreet hot on his tail right now at 422, and then Jerm Robinson with 416. So these guys are in the hunt for that 300 SX, but remember, we got 10 prizes to give away. All right, so for this week's prizes weekly, CG53 took home the pizza oven from last week, Rich took home the OGO 9800 gear bag, and then Slow Old Man, great name, took home the Fastway Air EXT foot pegs. So remember, get signed up, and don't forget, people, that the earlier you get your picks in, the better your odds are of winning a weekly prize, because the earliest timestamp in the event of a tiebreaker is going to win that prize. Don't forget. All right, here it is, your race recap. I've got your results up here on the table. Jet Lawrence, I said it in our last show, he's going to come back and probably win the overall. Chase Sexton almost did it, though. He did one thing great. That second moto charge at the end was incredible. I don't think anybody saw that coming. He was about 7 seconds back. We had completely forgotten about Sexton. And then next thing you know, with about 5 minutes to go, he cuts it down to 4 seconds, and then the rest is history. And I have a good question for Daniel Blair coming up here in just a few minutes when we talk about Chase Sexton in our top contenders. But it was Hunter third overall, another solid podium. Justin Cooper with 4th. Dylan Ferrandis, again, out of nowhere. Wasn't really expecting that, but he got 5th overall. And then for the people that got a perfect score, I would like to know what you were thinking when you put Jason Anderson as the wild card in 12th, because very, very low percentage of people got that correct, but shout out if you did. All right, news and injuries. Tomac, he's expected to come back for Budds Creek. Webb, he's back on the bike. Benny Bloss, don't know his timetable yet to get back. Barsha has just announced also that he is not going to be racing. I don't know if he's going to try and come back after a few rounds, but he is definitely not going to be racing at Redbud. So remember that when you are making your picks. All right, let's get into it here. Fox Racing track trends, like I said, we are headed to Redbud just outside of Buchanan, Michigan. I looked at the weather. It is looking phenomenal. And this track, it's got some of the best dirt on the entire schedule. It's got good elevation change, a lot of line changes. I know that from the riders, they love this track, so do not miss it this weekend. All right, here they are, your 100% top contenders. Hunter. 3-point lead right now. He's barely clinging on to this red plate, but my prediction, he's not going to have it after Redbud. Either Chase Sexton or Jet Lawrence is going to take the points lead after this week, but man, he's been good this year for his rookie season on a 450. 2-2-2-3-3 overall. He has not finished off the box overall. In fact, he only has one moto finish so far out of 10 that he hasn't finished on the box. So you better put Hunter in third overall this weekend. Second, if you're feeling a little bit frisky. But his average start per moto is 3.2 after lap 1. So he is getting the start. He's getting the results. Mr. Chase Sexton tied with Jet right now. They're both 3 back of Hunter. So here's my question though. Before I dive into some of these stats, Mr. Daniel Blair, here's what I need to know. First of all, what is your theory on why these Hondas are so good on the starts? Chase has only started ahead of Jet one time this season after lap 1. And my other question is this. Was that second moto win at Southwick coming from behind, passing Jet, dropping him? Was that more of a confidence boost than his amazing ride that he had at Hangtown when he went from last to first? Yes, he did pass Jet in that moto, but Jet was very banged up from his crash he had in the first moto. So I want to know, which race was a better confidence boost for Sexton?
You know, that's actually a really good question, and I'll be honest, fully transparent. I'm kind of getting sick of it. Look, when it comes to starts, it's a combination of a lot of things, right? Skill, technique, throttle control, clutch work, all that does matter, and it still does. But in the modern age of racing, these starts have become, I think, more about the bike than just the rider. It's a combination of the two, but that group over there are really smart. They're real good at attention to detail, picking up the little things, fixing the little issues. And when it comes to starts and the electronics and the technology that's available mixed with those boys' skill and talent, that combination has become just pure automatic. So I'll give Honda some of the credit for it. I'll give the family a lot of the credit for it. But the combination of the metal greats has really, in my opinion, made this less diverse, less opportunistic, and those boys have just absolutely mastered it. So as long as it stays metal greats, in my opinion, you're going to get the exact same thing every single week from here to the end of time because they've mastered it completely. And I don't know if everyone else is capable of doing that, to be honest. So that's the first question. Second question is confidence. And I think for Chase Sexton, he got a lot of confidence at Hangtown, obviously, because he pulled off an insane ride. I'm sure he watched it back and was like, wow. But when you do something multiple times, that's when it becomes more, I guess, official, and it becomes more, yes, I can trust this every week kind of thing. So for Chase Sexton, I think closing it down at Southwick Moto 2 and doing it the way he did it, where he did it more through strategy and less through emotion, I think that should be a big confidence booster in him to let him know that, yes, it can be done more than once, but it can be done in different ways. He should be feeling really good about it. And if you got to think about it too, go back to High Point. If he closes out that second moto at High Point, then this has happened now more than just twice. So no, I think he should be in a really good headspace right now, especially with Jet laboring and admitting in the press conference that he's banged up and the shoulder is an issue. You put those two things together and we have a real championship fight, a pretty dirty little fight brewing right here. So I'm excited. It's going to be good. Chase Sexton deserves to be confident. He rode like an absolute savage at Southwick, and he's for real.
All right, Mr. Blair, thank you so much for your take. Jumping right back into it. Now, Chase Sexton, he has raced on a 450 at Redbud twice. He's gone third overall and second overall. Now, before I get to Jet, here's a little cool thing that I was looking up. When you look at all the riders that are currently racing, Jet and Dylan Ferrandis are the only two active riders who will be lining up this weekend who have won the overall at Redbud. If Barsha was lining up, he would have been the third rider, but you know when the last time Barsha won the overall at Redbud? It was 2015. Pretty wild to think about. If Tomac was racing, obviously he's won it multiple times, but the only two riders who are lining up this weekend that have won the overall there, Jet Lawrence and Dylan Ferrandis. All right, Mr. Jet Lawrence. He's led laps in 7 motos to Sexton's 4. His shoulder shouldn't be as bad as it was in Southwick. Look, we talked about it. That track is the roughest of the entire year. Jet's still not going to be, I think, 100%, but this track should be a lot easier on his shoulder because him and Hunter looked like they were laboring pretty good in that second moto, but you still got to put Jet to win. His starts are phenomenal, and I think he's just going to do it again. Justin Cooper, perfect for that 4 to 5 range. Look, 6.43, 5.4 overall finishes. He's only got 3 moto podiums, though, and he went 5.6 for 4th overall at Southwick. So yeah, 5th, 4th, perfect for Jay Coop. Aaron Plessinger, he rode really good in that second moto. That's the AP that we expect to see. He had some unfortunate circumstances in that first moto. He's doing pretty good. I expect a little bit more, 8.36, 4.6. So he's only got 2 top 5 overall so far this year, and only 2 moto podiums out of 10 total. So his starts just aren't that great. Average of 6.8 Moto 1, 14.8 Moto 2, but he has finished on the box overall at Redbud, so keep that in mind. Mr. Jason Anderson, I don't know what to do with this guy. 7.5, 7.6, 12. His last 2 overalls at Redbud, 4.5. So he's been good at Redbud. He's just got to be a little bit more consistent before I'm just going to toss him into my top 5. But a sneaky rider this weekend for your top contenders could be the number 14 of Dylan Ferrandis. Like I just said, him and Jet are the only 2 that have won an overall on a 450 that are going to be lining up this weekend. So if you're feeling frisky, throw Dylan into your top 5. All right, folks, here it is. Bell Racing Wildcard Watch. It's 16th this weekend. I think this is going to be one of the hardest wildcards to get so far this season, because a lot of the stats for 16th are hard to predict, because you could have a rider that gets 16th overall who got a 25th and a 17th. You just never quite know. But I'm going to go with Colin Park. His average overall finish so far is 20.5, but he does have a 13th and a 17th overall. His average moto start is 20th. Romain Poppy, average overall finish of 18.9, but he does have 5 moto finishes of 17th or better this season. McElrath, I call the second moto champ. His overall average finish is 18.6, but he's only finished 1 time 16th or better in Moto 1, but he's done it 4 times in Moto 2. So for whatever reason, McElrath just always seems to improve in the second moto. Dean Wilson, he is coming back for Redbud, he said, which is great news for us fans. He hasn't raced since the opener at Fox Raceway, but he got 14th overall there. And then Harry Kulas. Where did this man come from? 13, 14, 9th overall. He just got 9th overall at Southwick. He's finished 17th or better in all 6 motos that he's raced this year. So check to see if he's racing. If he is, look at qualifying. But Harry Kulas could be a good pick for the wild card. All right, here they are, my Motion Pro locked-in picks. Look, I'm going to go with the same podium that we just had at Southwick. Kind of predictable, but I'm going to go Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton, Hunter for 3rd overall. But here's my kind of sneaker pick. I'm going to go with AP7 for 4th overall. It's America's track. He is the cowboy. Nobody loves this race, I think, more than AP, so I think he's going to do good this weekend. I'm going to go Justin Cooper, another solid top 5 finish. And then for my wild card, I'm sticking with Colin Park. Daniel Blair, who do you got?
All right, this week for my picks, I'm going to go with my heart over my head. Of course, my head would pick Jet pretty much every single week, even with the shoulder issue. But I'm going heart. I want Hunter Lawrence to win. He's got the points lead. He hasn't even won an overall yet this year, and I would like nothing more than to see him just win, extend that points lead a little bit, and juice this series up even more than it already is. So I'll go Hunter. Let's go Jet second. We'll go Chase in third. Chase is good at Redbud too. The top 3 are all going to be great on Saturday, that's for sure. 4th, let's go Dylan Ferrandis. He has won Redbud before. Not many have, actually. I think only him and Jet have of the current crop. Justin Barsha, I believe, is not racing. He won't be back until Unadilla. So Dylan Ferrandis is successful there. We'll go Dylan Ferrandis in 4th. And it's hard to not pick Justin Cooper right now in 5th. To me, he's a top 5 guy every single week. So I'll go Justin Cooper 5th. And then for the wild card this week, let's go Colin Park. Seems like a good spot for him. He's back. He's riding pretty good, getting on TV a little bit too. So Colin Park, let's go 16th. And the wild card. That's my picks this week, boys. See ya.
All right, DB, thank you for getting your picks in. So who do you have on this weekend's picks? Who are your top 5? Who's your wild card? I want to hear it down below. How many points do you have? How are you doing this season? Get that all down in the comment section. But that wraps up round 6 of the RM Fantasy MXpert Show. Remember, get subscribed to the RM Fantasy channel if you haven't already. Go to rmfantasymx.com. Get signed up. Like I said, free to play. Join groups. Bench race with us. Let's go racing, and let's have some fun.